As it looks like our connection to Twitch did die, so I have restarted and everything should be okay, everything should be fine. Let me just update everyone in the chat. Twitch died. Hold on, give me a moment here. And here we go. We're diving into this and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Oh my god, we're popping off! We're popping off, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, but also towards the center of the map outside the main base. We have our South Korean Terran player. It is ByuN. And going for a big proxy here, a proxy two gates in the center of the map. We have our South Korean Protoss player. It is herO. And if you're in the chat, predictions in the chat are open. So place your bets on who you believe will come out on top here and which proxy will succeed. Hold on. Predictions open. Predictions are open. So I do apologize. Fun fact, I was just like freely talking and, you know, I was casting and everything, and oh, with that, GG gets called. We scout the proxy. I was setting up OBS and I was just making sure that the stream was going. GG with that. ByuN, he realizes what's going on. He has nothing at home to defend, and with that, herO will take game number 1. No. Again, I do apologize. Our connection to Twitch was a little bit unstable, but hopefully our connection to Twitch will continue and we'll be okay as we're getting into game 2. Getting into game number 2 with herO already leading the series. But again, I do apologize for the stream going down. Again, I had no idea. Just catching up with the chat. Just going to be catching up in the chat. We're getting into game 2 on ByuN. Here we go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player down in this series already, as it was a very fast game 1. And now we can sink our teeth and focus on game number 2. We have Shopify Rebellion, ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing DragonKy Gaming, leading the series 1-0 after having a bit of a build order win. It is herO. Here we go. This time with no proxies. This time we're going for some more standard openers here. It is going to be a Rax expand setup here from ByuN. Single gas opener from our Terran player. Meanwhile, herO going for a gate cyber expand. So nothing too wild, nothing too crazy. We're easing our way into game number 2. Again, I do apologize for the stream going down. I do know that we lost like half our viewers, so do apologize for that. It was a little bit out of control and we were not quite able to recognize what was happening fast enough, unfortunately. Didn't quite recognize what was happening, so we will be on top of that and we will try to fix things up. Sorry, I'm just making sure that everything's okay. Making sure that everything is okay. As you can see, ByuN is just checking, making sure that there is nothing crazy going on in the main base, sorry, in the natural. Likewise, herO going to be expanding on the low ground. Now, with this more economic opener, it does mean that our early game is going to be a little bit it's going to be a little bit lackluster. It's going to be less impactful, as we saw previously. Much less impactful. As we're easing our way into ByuN. Again, this map is quite large. It's known for longer macro play as well. play as well. And I'm sure that's what we're going to be getting here between our two players. We'll see. It's still a little bit too early to assume. Again, the map, sorry, is just distracted by the chat. But when it comes to this map, again, we do have a very secure 4th base location because it's on the other side of these rocks, whether it's the minerals or the rock, the destructible rocks as well, can be quite difficult to harass and actually break through towards. Likewise, the 3rd base is very defendable as well, with the ramp leading into that 3rd, so it can be quite difficult to really assert yourself as herO is going for a robo opener. Okay, herO. Now, a robo opener can be one of two things. Well, this could either lead into something crazy like a disruptor drop, or something more standard like fast Colossus. We can head into fast Colossi from the side of herO. So this is a very defensive style. Now I say defensive because we're going to be lacking Blink Stalkers because there's no Twilight Council. We're also lacking Phoenixes because there's no Stargate. So herO has no map control. He should be going for a War Prism soon, but he has no map control. He has no way to deal with drop play, no way to harass across the map and really keep up with ByuN. There's no way for herO to really be too assertive. There's the fast Bay, the fast Colossus. So this should just be fast Colossus production here from herO. A very defensive style, and this is meant to counteract something like a 3-Rax. Something like a 3-Rax build. We can see it's a 1-1-1. See the 1-1-1 here as ByuN is moving out with his Widowmine drop behind this, going into tank production just to make sure he's safe against the Twilight Council build. Again, ByuN hasn't scattered anything, so he has no idea what's going on. No idea what herO is up to as Widowmine drop is coming in. Stalkers are going to struggle to keep up though, and boys are being pulled. Oh god! We do split in time. One Widowmine goes down. The other Widowmine, the shot is going to be going off as well. Oh, the retargeting. No, we come back too soon. 5 probes. 5 probes full. Big connection. Bigger than what should have happened. Another Widowmine going to be dropping here at the natural base. And herO, he will react in time. Again, so unfortunate earlier as we still have another mine shot going off and it will connect. Not quite. Whew. We have our observer. So herO, he will clean this up, but he lost 5 workers, which is more than what should have happened. So good connections there by ByuN. He escapes with the Widowmine. He is building up towards his Colossi though. His first Colossus is on the way. Stalkers are moving out, trying to apply some pressure, but remember they don't have Blink. No Blink here for herO. So he can move out, but he can't really do too much as we have tanks in position. Plenty of tanks. Oof. Yeah, herO bleeding out a Stalker. Flying too close to the sun, forced to recall back home. Doesn't want to get caught out. Doesn't want to get caught out here. As behind this, ByuN is getting into his 3-1-1 setup. Now from here, we should be seeing a 3rd base. ByuN can either go towards a 3rd base, he could either throw down 2 more Raxes, he can pull the boys. Stim is still a ways away though. As yeah, ByuN is just asserting himself so he can expand freely. Can expand freely here. ByuN is now going to be committing to his push. He's got 3 tanks, and this should be hitting in time with Stim. It's still a couple of seconds away. Remember, herO, with the Robo Opener, he has Colossi already. He's ready for a push. Oh, takes a couple of tank shots to the face. A 3rd tank shot as well. Oh, that was a brutal fight for herO. Another tank shot does connect. herO bleeding out a lot of units. That was 3 sentries and 3 stalkers for 1 tank. Oh god, oh god. As we bleed out another stalker, a lot of hull damage dealt to these Colossi. Again, very good tank positioning here by ByuN. And again, herO just taking too much. ByuN going for his own drop towards the main. we go. Medevac drop into the main base, and ByuN rotating over towards the left-hand side. He does have his Raven. Doesn't have Disable. But he has auto turrets. He's going straight for the natural instead. herO out of position. He did not see the rotation of ByuN. Did not see the army. We're within range of the production. The Bay. We depower the road, but we go straight for the Bay as well. And again, Colossi are here. We have 3 of them. And we should be able to collapse on this. Auto turret's going to be buying time. And ByuN, he will bleed out these tanks. Oh my god. At the same time, ByuN still popping up in the main base, denying so much mining in the main. Getting a couple of probes, being forced to pick up. Gets the hell out of there. Now, herO does hold, but he's been bleeding out a lot. These have not been efficient trades from herO. He's been bleeding out Stalkers, bleeding out Sentries. And ByuN has momentum. He has momentum on his side. He's got so many drops active. He's got 1 drop harassing the main, double drop on the left. He's got a double drop on the right. We'll see if ByuN can be active once again, as herO's trying to get a 4th. He's trying to get his 4th base. Oh! As it looks like we pick off a couple of these Stalkers. Again, not the best trade from herO. Bleeding out Stalkers, bleeding out probes. Good target firing here out of ByuN, getting 6 probes in the main. That's a lot of economic damage. And ByuN, he's ahead economically. He's ahead in the workers, ahead in the economy overall. Still would like to work towards a 4th. But that Marauder army, it's insane. It's a lot of Marauders. You have Ghosts for EMPs, Vikings to support, to rain down upon those Colossi. And you saw there that ByuN, he intentionally stayed out of range of the Xel'Naga. So herO doesn't know. He is moving out. He wants the Xel'Naga for himself. Runs into the main army. Prism takes a lot of hits. Does get picked off. The Prism for 1 Viking. Good trade for ByuN. Good trade for ByuN. Raven Harass coming in, getting more economic damage done. Getting 4 probes. And there it is. There's the 4th base on location. Working towards +1 ship weapons, of course, for those Vikings. Especially with a robo opener from herO, the Vikings are going to be crucial to deal with those Colossi. How many Vikings do we have? 8. 8 Vikings so far. herO's still on the back foot. Now he does have Blink, so he has a bit of a more mobile army than he once did. So thankfully with the Blink Stalkers, that will help quite a bit. Will help. But alas, the main army is still lacking. No charge loss, for example. A handful of Immortals. ByuN is about to max out. Bleeds out a couple of Vikings. Good pickups by herO. We're going to be slipping on forward, though. ByuN leading the charge. EMP grazes the army. No big connection. ByuN pulling back. Still harassing with that Raven. Being so annoying with this. How many kills do we have? 8 so far. Now 9 probe kills. But you can see how difficult it is to push into these bases. To push up this ramp specifically. So ByuN has been deterred and herO's maxing out. herO, he's catching up in supply. Charge is now done. We're still working towards Archons and Storm. EMP is going to be connecting, forcing back ByuN. And he's still making another wave of 4 Vikings. We got 3 CCs on the way. The mass orbital. Let's go. Vikings a threat in the Colossus. Threaten the Colossus, and here comes the Fusion Core. That's going to be for Liberators. One Colossus goes down. And we still don't have Disruptors. I'm a little bit shocked. I'm a little bit shocked that we don't have Disruptors or Storm yet. We only have the 2 Colossi and a Gateway Army. Raven finally goes down. herO trying to force his way up. Trying to force his way in. Boys are being pulled. ByuN, he is slightly behind here in the army supply, but he takes down both Colossi, takes down all Colossi. The Vikings are not going to do much from here. They have to land. As we bleed out 22 SCVs, pulling more boys. Yeah, the Mass Mortem army getting a lot of these Immortals. Whew. And ByuN does hold. Again, here he's got quite a beefy army. And ByuN does bleed out a lot of SCVs. He can go back to mining, can reestablish his bases. Again, the big concerning thing here is how many Vikings he has. As we saw, there were only 3 Colossi and ByuN kept making Vikings. And now they're dead supply. The Vikings are dead supply, we have to get rid of them. We have to refine the army here for ByuN. ByuN, he's on the chase. Good EMP. On the Stalkers at least. herO mass expanding behind this. Just going for a Swarm Toss style. Just mass Zealots. Immortal Archon. Oh, he never rebuilt the Bay. No shot. The Bay was never rebuilt. That's why we never had Disruptors. I was curious. My apologies. I remember the Bay going down earlier when the attack occurred here at the Natural, but herO, he never rebuilt it. Now he's got the Bay being rebuilt, the Robo as well. That's why we never had Disruptors. It's all coming together. I mean, I'd forgotten. I just assumed he rebuilt it. Yeah, we're stimming on forward. We take down another Immortal. God, the EMPs are insane on this army. Yeah, we're stimming on forward. And it looks like we're getting a bit out of control here. No more Zealots. Stalkers are so vulnerable. And we can turn and fight. And stim on top of the army. And herO's forces are crumbling. There's just not enough here. We stim and we win. And we take down the Nexus. herO, he avoids the fight. He knows he cannot take it. Going for a counterattack. Going for a quote-unquote base trade. This is all that herO has left. He is making 2 Colossi at a time. Catching Ghosts. Oh my god. Very good pickoffs. Gets 3 Ghosts. And 3 Widow Mines. Very nice pickoffs. Oh, Prism goes down. Now, how many Vikings are left over? 8. We still have 8 Vikings. We're fine. As long as they lift, we should be okay. Yeah, so we're going to be collapsing on this. Cells pushing forward. A good arc here. Good concave for herO. Colossi doing a lot of damage. Vikings, they do lift back up. But we have the overcharge. And with that overcharge, we're going to be able to hold on to the gold. herO, he is holding for now, but ByuN, he has a massive army here behind this. EMP on the sentries. Yeah, we're breaking on through. The overcharge runs out. And the goal base has been broken. The wave of Terran just does not end. The swarm of Terran even. As we just rally everything across the map, and herO, he just cannot hold on. He cannot keep up. He does have 3 Colossi, that is true. That's all he really does have. Gateways are falling. ByuN's army is massing. Oh, here comes the freedom. Here comes the freedom here. ByuN liberation zones are being set down. Massive EMP on the army. Yeah, and with that EMP, we can chase this down. We have another disruptor on the way. Disruptors are finally coming out. We come across another base. Vikings going ham. And it looks like we should finally take down these Colossi. There's just not enough to support them. Yeah, the final Colossus falls. And herO has been broken. We're pulling the boys. That's all we can do. GG gets called. And ByuN will tab the series 1-1, forcing the ace match. Let's go. GG. A solid game there out of ByuN. And herO, he had a bit of a hard time there. herO, he, from the get-go, because of his opener, if you remember, because of his robo opener, herO, he just didn't really have a flexible army, so the initial Widowmine drop popped off, the follow-up tank push did a lot of damage as well. herO just was having a really hard time keeping up with the army movement of ByuN, and as a result, early on ByuN did so much damage with his first pushes, whether it was dealing damage to the infrastructure or to the economy, to the main army. So herO, he had a very nice lead for himself, and herO was kind of stuck with a subpar force. We saw in the middle of the game that at a certain point ByuN had to pull the boys, and he did maybe overcommit to Vikings, but there was never Storm, there was never Disruptors, there was never any other form of splash damage. And we found out that a big reason for that is because of the lack of Robotics Bay. The Bay was sniped early on, and it was never rebuilt, so 0 Disruptors until the very end of the game. And without any splash damage to support your army, it's just so difficult to maintain yourself against a Terran player, especially in a longer game like that. So over time, ByuN just snowballed out of control. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3. We've made it to the ace match. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing CranKy Gaming. It is herO. Here we go. As we're getting into our openers, Probe gets across the map, is going to be scouting. See in the chat, you guys think removing EMP would break the matchup? It would. It would break the matchup. EMPs can be quite powerful, that is true. But specifically that game, it's not like herO lost the game because of EMPs. There was so much coming into play there. I mean, we were talking about how he was bleeding out workers. We were talking about how he was taking some big tank shots in the middle of the map earlier. Like, there was a lot that herO was struggling with in that game, and EMPs was the last of his problems. So I don't think that's a good game to kind of, you know, apply that rationale to. Obviously, though, I should be crystal clear about this. Obviously, Protoss does need help in this matchup, and there is a consensus about that. But that's also why the patch is addressing it, right? The patch is designed, or the upcoming patch on the horizon is designed to assist Protoss specifically against Terran. It is something that is, again, like, known by most people. Like, again, the consensus is that Protoss does need help in this matchup. Like, no one's arguing about that. And that's why the patch is hoping to address those, or that issue. That's herO even throwing down the pylon just to be a bit of a more annoyance, just to get a read on the add-on swapping here. It is going to be a Rax expand from ByuN. Economic opener overall. CC on the high ground. Very safe way to open up by ByuN, as the pylon is cancelled. In the center map, Reaper gets caught out for a moment. And we have yet to determine the tech of choice from herO. Reaper does get a probe kill. Oh, but does go down. Thankfully, we scout once again another robo opener. Interesting. herO. Okay, so winding it back once again, especially talking about game number 1. Game 1, herO went for a Robo Opener, just like what we're seeing here. As we saw, typically a Robo Opener leads into fast Colossus production, but we throw down 2 more gateways, so I'm curious if we're going for a War Prism first. This could be for a War Prism leading into Colossus later on down the line, and we could be hyper aggressive early on with 3 gateways. Yeah, we're moving out. Okay, so a much different variation of Robo Opener from herO. Stalkers are moving out. Yep, there's a War Prism first, so it's going to be a 3-gate, 2 bases here, Prism across the map, and can herO break ByuN? That is the question. Bunkers on the way. ByuN, he already saw the Robo Opener. He already saw the initial tech. We have 1 Cyclone on the high ground. We do miss the army. Bunker will not finish as a result. But we're setting up first around. ByuN coming in from behind. And we do catch out the Stalkers. Yeah, we get a surround here, and herO is going to be losing and bleeding out every single one. One of them does recall. Phew, we saved 1 Stalker, but that was not a good start. When you're going for this kind of build for herO, you need to build up your Stalkers over time. You have to preserve them. You have to snowball out of control, and losing 2 Stalkers is massive. herO's going to keep pushing. Meanwhile, across the map, ByuN is going for his own drop. He is moving out across the map. herO, he's headed for the main base. Drop into the main of herO as well. And we're going for the SCVs. Workers are going to be falling likewise. So are probes. herO, he does have a shield battery. He does have an overcharge. He should defend. Boys are being pulled across the map. Workers are falling for both players. But herO defends back at home. Oh, but he loses one of those Stalkers. Stalker does go down. ByuN dropping here back into the natural, where there is no shield battery. Oh, never mind, there is a shield battery. We're getting a couple of extra workers. The tank has arrived, and ByuN, he will hold at his natural. The Prism! No! Oh my god. The Prism will make it out. Thankfully. We get away, but Prism gets away. Drop gets away as well. And we have to take a moment here to take stock of where we're at. Oh boy. Okay, with that, ByuN, he does have a slight worker lead. He has mules, of course, as well. On top of that, herO does not have a third. He's been pumping out Immortals behind this. Still on 3 gateways. And still pushing. herO, he's pretty all in. Refusing to expand, refusing to take up. herO is committed. And ByuN back at home, he's got tanks. On the high ground as well. I appreciate that he did reposition the tank. Is safe on the high ground. We have a bunker as well. No, he unsieges! No shot. The unsiege is brutal, and we dive on top of the tank. Immortal's going for it. Gets 1 shot off, gets a 2nd shot, but the tank survives. Immortal goes down. Aye, aye, aye. The Immortal falls, and with that, ByuN holds. Takes down the Prism, shuts down the all-in. And across the map, we're even still distracting herO. And now we're transitioning. Now we're getting out of this. Twilight Council Forge on the way. herO trying to work on that next step. And ByuN just chilling. He's already got his 3rd base about to finish up. ByuN is in a beautiful position. Like, he's looking fine here. As he's on 3 tanks, 3rd base, getting his Rexes up and running. He still has his drop being active. Sorry, I should say he still has his Banshees being active. Getting a couple of probe kills. As he has a 2nd Banshee coming in from the south. And from here, ByuN is just going to be building up on 2 bases. Meanwhile, herO has yet to expand. We're working on what? +1 armor, working on charge, 2nd Prism. Still in 3 gateways. Okay, I'm like, are we going to expand or throw down more gates? We're expanding. Is taking a 3rd. Oh. Banshee goes down. So the Banshee investment here from ByuN hasn't been ideal. That's true, but he can afford to be a little bit wasteful. He can afford to throw away some of those Banshees as he's taking his 3rd base. And this is a dynamic we don't see too often, but from here, ByuN, he's up a base. herO still has not finished his 3rd. ByuN's so far ahead here in the economy. And I don't see him being broken anytime soon, not with this tank setup. The question, really, the pressure is now on herO. How do we bounce back? And there are ways to bounce back, whether it's with I don't know, disruptors in their purification overs, whether it's with DT harass, Zealot run-bys, drop play in general. There is a chance here for herO to come back in this game, but the reality is that if we stick to how this is going and playing out, I mean, ByuN is ahead. And it's on herO to make some magic happen. There we go, herO is pushing. We have Widowmine set up. No bunkers, but a very, very good SimCity. Very good defensive position here for ByuN. Storm is on the horizon here for herO. Going for a warp in. If there's a world, if ByuN unsieges, right? If he unsieges, if he maneuvers his tanks. If we can split well against that Widowmine. Ooh, Observer goes down. Now we're waiting for Storm. Storm is finishing up in a couple of seconds. We're 7 seconds away. herO is pushing in. It's all or nothing for herO. It's all on the line. God, we have a good mine set up as well. And mine shot's gonna be going for, we do Storm on the army, but the splits! The pre-split from ByuN, the Storms, oh, we had a good one towards the end. Very good Storm. But it's still not gonna be enough. The EMP was brutal on the army. Boys are being pulled. Yeah, we collapse on this and we will shut this down. We bleed out the Immortal, we bleed out the Archons. We won't quite get on top of the War Prism. We just pull back to the safety of the tanks. And again, this position is just too brutal to push into. It's not gonna happen. It's too well fortified. ByuN holds. And look at the resources lost here. Again, heavily in favor of ByuN. He scans, he sees the third base, sees now that gases are being taken, is fully saturated. There are some high templates to defend. And we're counterattacking. We are pushing. Now we need more time for the Storms. The High Templar, they need a little bit more time. The EMP is brutal on the High Templar as well. There will not be a Storm available. Not anymore. Storm is denied. Overcharge, trying to hold on to the line. herO does force back the army. He holds for now. But good kiting here out of ByuN. Does kite well, does trade well. And honestly, there's no pressure on ByuN, right? Like, he's taking a fourth. He's taking a fourth base. He can just chill, max out, get into Vikings, get into Liberators, build up his ghost count. herO just now is working towards Colossus eventually with that bay, but he's still on 3 bases. There's still no fourth for herO. He's still behind in economy. And again, herO, it's match points. It's the ace match. His tournament life is on the line. He's doing whatever he can, going for some Prism harass. Zealots are denied on the right-hand side. Drop towards the fourth. We are getting some SCVs. SCVs are going down. So good counterattack there by herO. Oh. Part of me is happy that I didn't see that because we censored it for the people in the chat, but that was the Prism falling. The Prism just died to the Widowmine. Not like, just nothing is going herO's way this game. It's ay. What more can I say? The Prism died to the to the Widowmine, and now ByuN has nothing to worry about when it comes to harassments. The Prism is dead. We can keep pushing. We do have Storms. We do have a handful of Storms available. Let's go. Scan reveals the fourth. ByuN is about to max. He's up 70 supply. Can herO pull off a miracle defense? Can he somehow survive this? We do have some Storms. If we can get like the perfect Storms out there. If the stars can align. The boys are being pulled. The snipes, EMPs are brutal. Oh my god, there's gonna be one Storm. Maybe a second Storm as well, but that's all we had left. We stim on forward, and ByuN breaks through the defensive line. GG gets pulled, and ByuN will take the series 2-1. advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. My condolences to herO, but herO, he tried to spice things up. If you remember, in this game, herO went for basically a 2-base all-in. It was a 2-base all-in from herO, going for a Robo into a Prism into all those Stalkers, but ByuN dealt with it so well. If you remember early on, he killed 2 Stalkers initially, and from there, he was able to take a very good fight as well back at home, shutting down the Stalker, shutting down the aggression of herO, going for his own counter-dropping counterplay. And yeah, ByuN, he was just in the driver's seat for almost that entire game. He was just getting further and further ahead as herO was more and more all in. And with that, GG, ByuN does take it. And a shout to... Oh, my apologies. I think I put the wrong score initially. My apologies there. But yeah, with that, ByuN, he will advance on to the finals. My condolences to herO, as herO, he did do quite well in this tournament. I don't want to take away from any of that. For those who maybe weren't aware, herO took down Dark. He took down Dark here in the quarterfinals to make it this far. Did take down Dark to make it this far. Just did 4 here in the semifinals and made it to the ace match at least as well. No shame in falling to ByuN. As we are getting ready for our next series, we're getting ready for the grand finals? Question mark. Let's double check. Okay, it looks like we have our lower semifinals, and let us see where we are. The lower semifinals are currently mid-series. Exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves.